for fire EMT supplies, out of the education service. As we've mentioned before, we are, getting reimbursed by FEMA. We just don't know how much and when. And then, so we just have to keep going.
No, I'll move this.
I'll second it.
Thank you. The next item up is the, mayoral proposed budget.
No.
Small item of business there, you know.
We try to make it small so it's easy and
I have to
understandable.
say, this was good. Good. Before we move it though, there was one small thing. It's not something I want to propose to change necessarily. Heather, do you have that line? If it's not fixed already,
Okay, so.
I just want to make sure it is, there's a commitment to fix it before the council starts
Let
working.
me just say,
Thanks.
Mike had a question about an actual line, and it has to do with.
What page we talking?
Let me just find it.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
It is on page,
I know, I had it noted too, and I lost my bookmark.
That's when you know we have a good budget.
okay, it's on page 53.
Yep, there we
And
go.
it's an expense line item, and it's for band principal. You see quite a large number versus the revised budget for the current year. And that's simply a function of, in speaking with Diana Corey, we paid down a band, two bands. Number one, a harbor band, we actually paid down the whole amount. Should have come out of capital, it got paid out of general, and that's simply a moving of funds from one account to another, one fund to another. And she's working on that today. And the second item was we did pay down $200,000 on our streetlights. Once again, that got paid out of capital, not general, and should have been last year. And so she's working on it.
So to be clear, there's no issue with the actual expense itself.
No.
Before you know.
She took the cash out of there,
Yeah.
so it should have been a due to, due from.
And Mayor, I'm okay approving this budget with that in there as long as there's a commitment that it'll be sorted out and explained to the council, so that they understand what's going on with that line. Oh, good. Okay, so you're actually gonna, before it goes to the council, we're gonna,
You're gonna change the book.
yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Oh, then I'm
Yeah,
even more for it.
right.
Perfect. All right, great.
That's fine.
Great.
Hey, I'm good with it. I think you did a great job putting it together. There's some things I think we'll slice and dice a little on you, but other than that, we're looking good.
Well, that's the council, not us.
Right, well, we're all part of the council, aren't we?
Yeah, but you gotta have two hats, man. You gotta have two hats, you know?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Mike, slicing and dicing. You know, this is not a meat market. This
Well,
is,
you know what, I'm
this
sure.
is a well-oiled machine. Okay, so I would, and on a serious note, I would say at this point that, you know, a lot goes into a budget. The budget doesn't start at the last month in December, January. This is a running budget that we do each year, and I think we saw the effectiveness of this administration when the pandemic hit. We were well aware of it prior to, I would say, a majority of other municipalities taking action, taking steps. This is because our weekly meetings, this is because we dashboard our budget as we're going through. We have the wisdom and the knowledge of Heather, who kind of looks and has a better pulse on expenditures and the rate of the expenditures. So I just want to make sure that, you know, I know that we're kind of joking around at this point, slashing, cutting, but when you have somebody working with this 365 days a year, I don't want anybody just for political reasons. I'm not going to say it's going to be for political reasons, just because they have to make something that looks like they're doing something. I think we have established a good working relationship, open, transparent. So any of the questions you certainly do have, I'm always available along with Heather and Bill. So I just would say at this point, we worked extremely hard as we do each and every year. This was extremely challenging trying to keep this budget to a point where it wouldn't really affect the taxpayers, but also we were mindful of the pain and suffering that is out there. So, you know, as we move forward, I can only say that please consider the fact that what we have done has been well developed, well thought out, and anything changes you do have, certainly get the explanations that you need from either our department heads or through Heather or myself. Or Bill, go ahead.
Thank you. Two things. One, it's actually, we were kind of like seriously kidding, but the two hats thing, you know, I'd like the both of us to make sure the council does understand if it comes up, that the five of us, E and A, really did a lot, especially this year,
Oh, yeah.
more so than others, to work up to this,
Mm.
because we do deal with the budget weekly at E and A, you know what I mean? And then the other thing I just wanted to know, because we are streaming, same thing, you know, the mayor wanted to see some comments, if anyone is actually paying attention here. Something else to note, the council and the public, if they do look, this, going into this budget year, there's two big differences here. You see that, health insurance costs, are budgeted to go down, in the proposal, but the retirement costs have gone up considerably. So, if anyone does target either of those lines to look at increases in expenditures or decreases in expenditures in ways to, possibly slice and dice, as you're saying, we gotta make sure that they understand there is a balance there. And one did drastically go up, one drastically went down, so we might be okay next year, but there's a balance that we got there, so.
And Councilman, I
That's,
just want to mention, so the reason for both. So our retirement expense went up because it was based on the investments, being, valued on March 31st. And we all know at March 31st, the stock market had tanked last year. And so our retirement bills went up just to be able to cover those expenditures. I expect this next year, right, coming up, we'll have quite an opposite change. It's too bad, the state can't do something to smooth that out a little bit more, but they have a 5-year smoothing, but I mean, that was a radical change. So, it wouldn't surprise me if something happens, but that's directly from the bill. I don't change the bill, I just allocate it. As it relates to health insurance, we put out an RFP. We were very aggressive about it. In all honesty, we put out the RFP with a number of variables, one of which was if the pandemic did not slow down, if tax revenues did not remain stable, if we would have to go back to the union and ask them for concessions. We don't believe we need to do that, but we were getting prepared to do that.
Right.
That's how concerned we were. And so we've seen our experience rating drop quite a bit. In putting out the RFP, we got some really great rates. So that's the reason for that.
I'm gonna make a motion, at this point to move this forward, and in saying that, I want to thank, once again, my administration, my staff, Heather, Sonny, Tracy, and my department heads who have consistently worked throughout the year, mindful of exactly what we're looking at this point, trying to keep our expenditures down, but still delivering a product and a service that unsurpasses, as much as we can to keep our economic development going there. And to the members of E&A, I know that we were just talking about slicing, dicing, but I could tell you, Jack has called me, Councilman Lomenico, multiple times in reference to some budgetary concerns or thoughts that he has, and I know he's met, along with President of the Common Council, Mike, with Heather, to go over some different things. So it's the administration that we put this together, but I also want to make sure that we fully understand throughout the year that there is that dialogue and communication with members of the Common Council, the President of the Common Council, and quite frankly, for me not to say that the extreme relationship that we have with Bill and his staff, Bill Morehouse and his staff, has made a remarkable change in the way we do business and the way people look at us as doing business. And I believe that is the blue chip of continuing moving our city forward. So at this time, I make a motion to vote on the city budget.
I'll second it.
And I'd like to say something on it too. I think that, I would say that I could, based on this, that this is a flexible and adaptable budget. And I think you guys did a great job. You saw when changes had to be made, you were flexible enough to change them. And you took that and you adapted those changes into this budget here, which really made it a very strong budget. Something that, I'm proud to bring to the council, and, just a great job this year. Thank you very much.
Motion,
Yeah, I seconded it, so,
all in favor?
aye. Ship it. Good job, down.
You have it all?
Motion closed?
So, nothing else? I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you.